despite getting blasted by the Arizona Cardinals on their home stadium at SoFi this past weekend. In my honest estimation, I don't think the shine has really came off of the Los Angeles Rams yet. And yes, credit goes out to the Cardinals, and shout out to the Cardinals, honestly, for doing that. Right now, they look like the best team in football, but I still think the Rams are the better team. The Cardinals just happen to have a better day. And Seattle, they came back against San Fran to kind of save the season. They're now 500 on the year at 2-2 with another looming primetime home matchup against the LA Rams on Thursday Night Football this coming Thursday. In the last 8 games, the Rams have won 6 of the last 8 against the Seahawks. And while it might indicate that the Rams seem to have the Seahawks' number, especially coming off that wildcard victory from last season, Seattle also has a very pristine record in prime time. Under Pete Carroll, the Seahawks are 23-2 on primetime games, and in all other primetime games, the Seahawks are 33-6-1. Obviously, something got to give. And even going back to last season, Sean McVay and the Rams were 5-1 following a loss. And under Sean McVay, the LA Rams are 3-1 on Thursday Night Football, with their only loss actually coming at the hands of the Seattle Seahawks a couple years ago in a 1-point game. Something got to give. And if you're a bettor, I'm actually staying away from this game. And to me, it's looking more like a toss-up. I'm not going to lie. I think the Rams are the better football team. And yes, while my Seahawks have done their part so far to right the ship and to save their season, I'm not sure I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt in a home bout against the Rams, seeing as how they're highly motivated to put that to rest. I mean, to get blown out by the Arizona Cardinals in your own home stadium, that's just not a good look. Let's break it down, shall we?
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the.
Now, if you ask me, I'm not going to pick Seattle to win this game. Yes, I have confidence. Yes, I have faith in my team, in the home team, to come out and pull out the victory. But as I mentioned earlier, if you're a sports bettor, I'm staying away from this game. I mean, this is going to be a complete toss-up. You don't really know who's going to win. You have certain things that favor Seattle, and you have certain things that favor the LA Rams. And I know the Rams, they look somewhat vulnerable. That defense, like I mentioned in videos past, is not the same defense that was number 1 in all of football last year. They had a few lapses against the Arizona Cardinals. And on offense, they had a couple of turnovers, which the Arizona Cardinals were able to capitalize on. And with Seattle, despite being able to save their season in that victory over the San Francisco 49ers, they had an abysmal first half. They started the game out with 5 3-and-outs, and there's just no way Seattle can start like that against this LA Rams team that will be sure to capitalize on all any opportunities presented to them. And with Seattle, their secondary did look a lot better. Sidney Jones, despite giving up a few big plays in his first couple of snaps, he looked very competent in coverage. And I know Seattle caught a lucky break when Jimmy G didn't end up returning in the second half because of an injury. Trey Lance came in, and yes, he did look somewhat prepared, but he also looked very erratic from time to time. And with the exception of that 76-yard catch and run by Deebo Samuel, his accuracy was a little iffy. He completed barely 50% of his passes, and while he looked mobile and electric as a runner coming out of the backfield, I'm not so sure Seattle would have blown out or dominated San Fran if Jimmy G and the rest of the offense was healthy in the second half. But because Seattle is so great playing at home, or because Seattle is still so great playing with their backs against the wall, it's hard for me to pick against them. I just can't definitively say, oh yeah, Seattle's going to win this game. You know, I'm not going to be that homer that's going to go out and say something like that. But what I do expect is a great game. I do expect not a very high scoring game. I expect somewhat of a slugfest. I think I could see this game in the low 20s. The Rams, if they're able to mix in some of their other weapons aside from Cooper Kupp, because I think that against the Cardinals, Matthew Stafford was kind of overfeeding Cooper Kupp. He caught 5 passes for 68 yards on 13 targets. And while Robert Woods did get involved late, that was in garbage time. And I just haven't really seen Robert Woods be the piece or be the wide receiver that he has been in years past. The offense has really just been Cooper Kupp, Cooper Kupp, Cooper Kupp, and Cooper Kupp. And with Seattle's secondary haven't looked improved, although, yes, there was a lapse in coverage with Deebo's 76-yard catch and run. Aside from that, Seattle's defense looked very competent. The secondary was holding its own against the likes of George Kittle, who only had 40 yards on 11 targets. And so Seattle's secondary, they were able to actually even have their first interception of the season. And so all those things being said, I mean, Seattle, they have the weapons to capitalize on LA's regressing defense. I mean, yes, they can still get after the quarterback. Yes, Aaron Donald is still going to present his matchup problems against Seattle's beat up offensive line, but I just feel like Seattle, look, they fell into a hole early in the season, and with a chance to kind of get right at home against the opponent that's coming off a devastating loss, traveling on a short week, it's hard for me to pick a favorite. But I guess if I had to pick a winner, I'm gonna go with the Rams. You know, and I'm hoping that a little bit of reverse psychology can maybe put the Seahawks in the driver's seat to win this football game. But these two teams are evenly matched. These two teams are pretty much, actually scratch that. These two teams are not evenly scratched. I still think the Rams are the better football team at this point in the season, but I would not at all be surprised if Seattle were to come out with the victory. They're still motivated. They still have their backs against the wall. The Rams, the same. But if some of those issues that plagued them against the Cardinals show up again in this game against the Seahawks, and Seattle has more than a shot to win this game against the Rams on prime time at home. Seattle just doesn't lose at home, especially in prime time under the bright lights. Now, if Seattle's secondary looked like it did against San Fran, then Seattle has a legitimate shot of winning this football game. Like I mentioned, they were forcing the ball to Cooper Kupp last week, not really getting other options involved. And so if Seattle's secondary can hold up, if Seattle is able to run the football a little bit like they did, you know, bring in Alex Collins, and if Seattle is able to play a turnover-free game, then Seattle will win this football game. As for the Rams, if they continue to turn the football over, if they continue to force feed the ball to Cooper Kupp, if the rest of the guys on the defense, not named Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, don't show up, then the Rams aren't winning this football game. Plain and simple. Let me know in the comment section down below, who do you guys got winning Thursday Night Football? You got money on the Rams or you got money on the Seahawks? Comment your picks down below. That marks the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, this video is brought to you by BetUS. Don't forget to use our promo code SteezyBandz and to use our sign-up link down below to receive a 125% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,500 today. Nothing but love, all glory to God, and Steezy out. Again, this video is going to be dedicated to Mr. Todd Nas. While that concludes this video, we have loads of other content. You don't have to stop watching there. Other content on our channel homepage, as well as our social media platforms. And again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for us. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Nothing but love, and Steezy out.